So, our next and final demo for our slightly spooky Next Fest evening is Strange Antiquities. I actually have not had a chance to play their first game, Strange Horticulture, but apparently they're on to another game, and I'm behind the times. So, let's see what this one's like. And then maybe this will make me want to play the first game more quickly than it is on my to-do list, because my to-do list is far too long. Start game, shall we? As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there's a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that it could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. Alright. Day 1, Thursday. Cat. Oh, that's a good purr. I like that purr. Pet the kitty. Alright, but... yeah. Great. Love it. Can we organize? Love it. Great. Okay. The eyeball follows me around. Wonderful. I see. Okay. Got some locked stuff. Have a whatever that doodad is. Okay. Cool. Interesting. That is fascinating. That's a thing I can do. Okay, cool. Great, love it. Bell. I've been called away to assist an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care, with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. Okay. Book. If in doubt, study it carefully. Oh, there we go. I got. There's an index at the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry into any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safe is not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Okay. So they told me to reference the book, but I did not know how to open the book. A guide, Strange Artifacts, a guide to occult objects by T.S. Gill. Ooh, boy. Alright, lots of things. An ecumenical is a small object commonly featuring a memento mori that acts as an aid to recollection. A memory cannot reside in both the mind and the ecumenical at the same time, and it cannot be stored indefinitely. When a memory has been left for long periods, it can begin to emit unpleasant vapors. An empty ecumenical, on the other hand, has an ominous presence, pulling at the threads of one's mind. Great! That sounds like important information to have. Yeah, I will probably need to play the first game, Sparkle. I mean, obviously they're probably not related specifically, but I feel like I should probably play it anyway. And it has been on my to-do list for quite some time. I love the rain effect on the window here. Thomas Pope. Congratulations! Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man who loves. I'm a man of two loves: fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Hunter's boon. Use right-click on items to inspect them. Okay. He wants a hunter's boon. Let's first read about said hunter's boon. Hunter's boon. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those of deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Great. Okay. So he needs a trophy made of a dead animal without much embellishment. That looks like way too much embellishment. Clay painted to look like bone. Okay. You. Yellowy white color, yellowy brown. Color and composition. Sense of touch. Smooth but with hard ridges and smooth. Nothing to remark on scent and sound. Gives me a sensation of power. I mean, that does seem Hunter's Boon-ish, as what appears to be a simple tooth of a critter. What do you got? Nothing to remark. Withered flesh, grim, gold, polished wood and brass. Hard and cool, leathery and bony, quite unpleasant to touch. Hard and cool and polished. Well, I was expecting it to smell worse than it does. Alright, fair. And inner perception, nothing to remark. Oh. Interesting. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so let's... Iron, gray metal, flecked with dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. Great. A substance flakes off and leaves a mark on my fingertips. Raised detailing. I have nothing to remark about its scent, and it has an energy about it. Alright, what's this? The Thaumaturge, Eli White. Okay. The Cat, Devourer of Souls, Jupiter. Jupiter is the Thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's Thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it its home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of the Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. Okay. Alright, so this thing. It weighs less than half a pound. Great information, yes. Okay, so what are we doing with this? Yes. Shape. Fascinating. Okay. Not sure what any of this has to do with anything just yet, but it is now appropriately labeled the Tooth of Power. You want this thing? This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sense of power. Hunter's boon identified. Okay. Okay. Ossic ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Korchen, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say that they can hear Korchin's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. Okay. You can add labels to items while inspecting them. Okay. So, I'm not entirely clear on what we're doing. But there definitely are mysteries to be had here. But apparently, I gave it to him, but also have it? And it's not really clear to me why... What is up with the clock? What are you doing? Stop. 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 Chill, clock. It's not clear to me exactly what happened when he asked for an object of power, a hunter's boon. I gave him one, but I still have it, and it successfully identified it, but then it gave me random other information about the Ossic ring. And that felt very odd to me. Like it wasn't related to what I just did. Okay. Oh, clearly we're attempting to figure out more things. Oh. Okay. Thursday, the old jail. The old jail stands silent, its rusted iron bars the only thing separating me from the ghosts of former prisoners. Take a quick look around, but there's nothing to find here. Okay. Calgarth Hall stands stately and pristine, its grand architecture a testament to the Calgarth family legacy. Inside, generations of wealth and influence are on display at every turn. I'm welcome to look around, but on strict instructions not to touch anything. Alright. Book. So, Hunter's Boon got checked, because apparently identified that correctly. What was the Ossic ring? Was this a new entry, or did we get more information about it? And why did we get more information about it? I am confused. Next! Jack Hungerford. The night's drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I am told a shadow hold will draw it out. Shadow hold. Okay. Let's see if we can identify a shadow hold. Symbol. A shadow hold, or Ossitic vessel, is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Ossitic spirit, a manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like a poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Well, I think I know which one that is, because I think I remember seeing that before. That's this one. Pretty sure. Let's double check. Looks somewhat similar in design, but not quite. Anything else that is a slightly better design? No, I'm pretty sure that's it. There was something in here. Nope. Okay. Let's go with, what are these things? Right? What are you? That's the map. Can I put the map up here somewhere? Like right there. Perfect. Alright. So I think this is our shadow hold. It's not quite the same symbol. But it does appear to be about right. Spongy, hard, somewhat rough. Pungent scent. Nothing to remark. Okay. Great. Let's go ahead and do that. Identified. Shadow hold. Container of some kind. Design on the bottle the same as the sketch. Okay. Now that I look at it sideways, it is the same as the sketch. My brain was just not parsing that sideways tilt. Sun bond. So book content discovered. Click to continue. So we got a new page in the book for identifying something else for this dude? That's confusing to me, but that's okay. A sun bond is a small and lightweight designed to be carried discreetly and made of non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. There's an auto-labeling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. Okay. David Schaefer. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? I can't remember seeing ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Thanks. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry in Shin. Or an entry on the Shin. Charlie Weathers. Thanks, Charlie. Go ahead and slap that down there. So, clearly, we have mysteries to solve. And I don't know how to solve any of them just yet. Look at something quick. No, nothing yet. Okay. Next. Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark, on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I am visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. Not sure I can help you get out there more often, but sure. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. I'll see what I can do. Ah, index. Subject, Black Heart, Heart Chamber, Curse, Danger, Dark. Moon Heart, Selenic Totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes, associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Sure. The form of the item itself will often have connection to either the moon or the night. So we need a Selenic Totem Moon Heart. Feelings. Got it. They're all clickable. Got it. Okay. So we need a moon heart of some variety. Moon shaped. Okay. This one is kind of sort of moon-shaped if you hang it sideways. It's more of a horseshoe or horn shape. Same with this one. Same with this one. We don't really have anything that is strictly moon-shaped. Not specifically crescent moon-shaped. Color, bronze. Uneven texture. Smells like metal. Nothing. Okay, so this is just a bronze hoop. Bronze hoop. How about you? Gold, orange gemstone, pinkish gemstone, gold, black gemstone. Missing the blue part, but that's okay. Cool. Cool to the touch. No scent. Nothing to remark. How about you? Brown fabric of some sort. Bone, yellowed white. Cheap metal of some kind, probably pewter. Rough fabric, hard and somewhat rough, engraved detailing. Nothing to remark on the scent. Nothing to remark on the feeling of power. Okay. There's more things. You restarted the demo twice, but you can't read. Okay. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Ooh, okay. Thanks. On thaumic fields. All thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Though invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. A diurnic field pattern. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. You are wood, gold leaf, engraved detailing and smooth, no scent, no power. Okay, so you are a thing. Cat, hold on to that. Excuse you? Cat knocks it off the table. That's great. Alright, note can go under. Note can go under here. In fact, this note can go under here too. Hi, Trix. How you doing? Note. Does Cat knock anything off? Yes, yes, he does. That's great. Thanks, Cat. Appreciate you. What are you? Orange gemstone, gold, wood, gold, warm, polished. Sounds are muffled in its presence. Okay. Nothing to remark. Alright. So let's go to the wine cellar next door. Now, where are we? Where are we? Strange Horticulture is number 2. So we're here. Thursday. This was a mistake. Okay. What just happened? What just happened? Something negative just happened. It wasn't clear what just happened. Some sort of object flew. Gandalf. There doesn't seem to be anything here. What is happening? What are those sound effects or things? Alright. Greywick Farm, Boatyard, Old Jail. Must have taken the wrong turn. This isn't where I meant to come. Alright. What is... I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. So this is my mental state. Okay, so none of that is explained. So that is completely foreign to me and does not have any information that lets me know what's going on. So that part is weird. I was hoping to get... Maybe it's the Greywick Farm. The scent of damp hay lingers in the air as crows pick at the muddy ground beneath weathered stone barns. The farmer lifts his gaze briefly, offering little more than a nod before turning back to his work. I don't think I'll find anything useful here. Okay. So what I was looking for is this. A couple items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. But we're here. Oh, sorry. That's strange horticulture. I was wrong. I was thinking of the name of the previous game. Strange Antiquities is here, number 29, which is here. So I also can't read. This is correct. So one of these two, maybe? The proprietor, Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I am from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them then out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of these unnaturals in my cellar. Okay, okay. Am I... There we go. I had to scroll for half an inch. Okay, I found things. Great. Love it. Thanks. Let's slap these things somewhere. Thank you. You can go there. Perfect. So this is crescent-y moony shaped. Gold. Stone. Warm. Hard and cool. Engraved detailing. Doesn't sound or smell like anything. Nothing to remark. So this does have a moon crescent-y shape on it. Carved totem, it is. Crescent shape, yep. Otherwise, there's not much to it. It's a carved totem, which it is, and it has a crescent shape on it. So we'll call it that. And that's probably... actually, it would have required me finding that note to tell me to go to the cellar. So they really do rely on you figuring things out in this game on your own, don't they? And this is where you got stuck at as well, Sparkle, right? Because there was nothing moony crescent shaped to give to this lady until you find the note to learn that this thing might be elsewhere. Fascinating. Oh, you nailed this one. Okay, fine. Fine. Alright, we need a crescent-y shape. That's kind of crescent-y shaped. We'll do... I'll give you a gray color. Alright, you may have this. No. Okay. Great. That wasn't the item. I should slow down and think more carefully. So, none of these really truly fits. Because this was the only one that was a carved totem that has a crescent moon shape. This one is kind of sort of carved totem with kind of sort of moon shape on it. This has it's carved-ish, but it's more of a necklace than it is a totem. My thinking is too narrow. Okay. Interesting. This one, maybe. Fossilized creature, stone, carved, hard and rigid. Nothing to remark. Notice a slight out-of-body feeling like my hands belong to somebody else. That doesn't sound legit. Alright. Oh. This? There's a moon on there. Wood. You. White paint. Rough and gnarled. Nothing to remark. Interesting. So I would think that if we find the right one, our inner perception should give me the sense of joy, or whatever. Because that was kind of the purpose of the Selenic Totem, is to get the sense of love or joy. This entry spoke of disciples. Well, so it says Selenic and Noctic disciplines. But the Selenic and Noctic disciplines don't make sense to me because I don't know what those are. So that's not terribly helpful. The only other hint that I've got is that this here is a tree. So I'm thinking it could be that tree totem. Carved totem, moon hearts can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, held tightly to recall the same feeling. They feature crescent shapes associated with both the disciplines. Form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. So, because the symbol is a tree, and there's a moon shape on the tree, this could be legit. I get you, Sparkle. What is this? Nothing to remark. Okay. Bat. Nothing to remark. Celtic knot thing. My heart feels lighter. Bronze. Raised detailing. Nothing to remark. My heart feels lighter. Okay. I mean, that's the only one that's given me a really good feeling so far. What are you? Nothing. Okay. So, I have concerns with their obscurity of clues. Because if it's this one, because my heart feels lighter, this has absolutely nothing to do with the moon or the night. If it's the tree, then it's not giving me the sense of feelings that the book has proclaimed it should do. I'm going to do the tree out of curiosity. Here, try it. Nope, it's not the tree. Okay. Eyeball. Nothing. Goat. Nothing. Deer. Nothing. This thing. Nothing. This thing. Nothing. This thing. So this one gives me weird senses of out-of-body feelings. But Sparkle, I have waved my hands over many of them many times, so that doesn't really narrow it down. Nothing to remark. Red paint, blood. Stone. Oops. Hard and cool. Nothing. Nothing. Owl. I am overcome by a warm, loving emotion. Really? So, they are giving hints, and I guess now that I see the crescent shape in the owl, I guess that kind of sort of works. It was very much not obvious to me, because it's not... It works in hindsight, but based on the description and the clues that were being given. Moon, big tree, moon, 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 repeatedly. The only hint of the owl was this tiny little bit here. So it was very, very obscure, and looking at the owl, I wasn't seeing a crescent shape. I was seeing the owl ears. So I wasn't seeing that because I was looking directly next to it, which was a carved statue of a fucking moon. So, yeah. I mean, yes, but also we should know more about what's in our shop. So, let's give you that one. Give you this one again. Yes. Oops. There we go. There. Take your fucking owl. Selenic totem. It's a carved totem. Owls associated with night. It bears a concealed crescent shape. Sure. Sure it does. Evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay. Bye, lady. Glad you got to stand there watching me suffer repeatedly and go into a psychotic haze. Like, to me, it would make more sense attempting to identify items that people bring in, because then the items are a mystery to us. Whereas being a worker in a shop, you should at least have some sense of what you've got to begin with. So having to guess and try to figure out what we already have in our shop to give to a customer when they ask for a thing doesn't make as much sense to me as attempting to identify unknown objects as they're brought to us to maybe take into the shop and put out for sale. I'm just saying. So, I know, and I get you're trying to justify it, Sparkle, but from the standpoint of working in the shop and the previous owner having left, nothing being labeled, nothing being labeled, nothing being explained, it feels odd to have a shop full of things that we know nothing about. It feels very odd. Strange, even. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing, to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivorous. Carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Cernunnos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. You won't let me restart twice. Great. Sounds great. Voice of Cernunnos, you say. Oops. Okay. Voice of Cernunnos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that otherwise are hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. I don't remember what a torque is. Truly don't remember that term. But we've got man, antlers. He's got this thing around his neck. That may be the torque. I think that's what that might be. In which case I have an idea of which one it is. But he also has a snake. He has a staffy thing. He has an upside down crescent moon. More crescent moons. God damn it. Alright. Sir Nuno's wearing his torque. So I'm assuming this is the one that's the torque. Because I have vague memories of that being a torque from other dealings of games and things. Not a man. Ew. Alright. Do we have anything else that is Sir Nunos-ish? We have no mans with horns. I mean, we have some sort of skull with horns, but that's fine. Now, the book refers to the bronze torque itself. It doesn't refer to the man or the god wearing it. It only refers to the torque that he's wearing. So let's go with this. Hang on. Yes. Yep. Dot. Let's give you red, because we never use red. And this one. That's because none of my labels actually match up with what they're called, so. Hooray, I did it. I was pretty positive that that was what a torque was. Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps. A layer that requires something more than the traditional sense to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Okay, great. Now, we have several other things going on in this shop. We have this thing. That's a button to push. We have lots of symbols. We have some missing symbols that we may need to fill at some point. We have this thing. Whatever that do. Probably fits something that we can find at some point. We have this thing that's locked, probably requires some sort of key. We have the exploration mechanic, which lets us find random stuff. The Blacksmith Guild is alive with rhythm of hard work, iron heated, hammered, and shaped into purpose. There's a rumor that a guild of assassins operates from here. I'd love to poke around, but I'd rather not run afoul of a sharpened blade. So that exploration bit... we were obviously able to find additional items by clicking here after finding the note. But can we just randomly click around? I'm wasting my time. And then it kills my brain. It killed my brain! The ornithologist, Edmund Bishop. The 14th Lord of Gleeston Castle is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13th before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as a father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learn to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species or quizzing professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of adventures in Africa and New Zealand. Great. Back, yes. End day. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. Okay. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Who did what in the where now? Great. Great. I have this now. Sure. Sure, why not? Cat. Good cat, good cat. All right. Let's just click more buttons. It's late, but whatever. It's late. Verona Green. Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and this thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Okay. Okay. Hermetic Symbology by Quentin Holmes. Thaumic disciplines. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy, each of these split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols: celestial, diurnal, and individual. Selenic, Dradic. So the Selenic and Noctic symbols were the ones that were mentioned previously, so now we're theoretically learning more about those things. Great. I am opting not to let Mom drive in this chaotic state we have currently. So I have canceled our plans for tomorrow. And also, I'm not really in the mood, because I'm kind of pissy. Gila. Hi, kitty. Kitty. Mur. Mur. Hi, kitty. I would love to pet you, but you're just out of reach. Gila. Gila. Kitty. Hi, Gila. Come here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Hi. Come here. Come here. Get pet. Come here, get pet. Come here, get pet. Gila. Gila. Come here. Come here, come here. Get pet. Gila. Gila. Cat hat. Cat hat. Gila. Get pet. Get hugged. All right. Let's read. Okay. So, celestial, diurnal, and individual. Selenic, Dradic, diurnic, and noctic. Mentic, and the Wixic. Imbuements: calm, confusion, death, etc., etc. Elements: materials, mundane elements, planetary metals, seasons, weather, Wicca, and that is it. Okie dokie. Great. Book for the collection. Yes, hello. Mwah. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horn shekel might be the answer. Okay. Let's see if I have something like that for you. Would you like to pet a kitty? They help with moods. Okay, horned shekel. Gotta get used to the navigation. Horned shekel. Oh, hey, I have something that looks like that, I think. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the ears. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. An example of an elaborate horned shackle. Alright. I do believe I have this one. It's not necessarily the same, but it is horned. It is a pendant. Ridge, smooth, ridge. Yep. I have a strong sense of being watched. That doesn't sound legit. Alright, so. Yeah. You are horned. You are just wood. It didn't really say what the composition was, though, right? It just says it's something that's typically horned and rubbed. This one actually has very little information on it. It's a horned something that is typically rubbed between one's fingers. Can be worn as pendant, but more commonly totems, which means it could be either. Oops. You. Clay. Over here, we have this thing. This thing's lovely. You lost your brains a few times with this one. Great. These are horns. Bone. Technically bone, but horny. Hornish. Now, I do wonder, we got the book of symbology. Are we supposed to use that for this? Horned god, perhaps. It's not necessarily clear, but it feels like that might be a thing. Now we have this, which look like shackles, but not necessarily horned. Hi, Scobie. This is Strange Antiquities. Oh. Magnifying glass. I do feel like I need to play the Strange Horticulture next. Not next tonight, obviously, but next-ish in upcoming games. Because I feel like we could do some stuff with that. Well, so this is the only thing that's really horned. Okay, it's not the only thing. We have this horn, we have this horn, we have this horn, and we have this horn. Inner perception fills me with a sense of foreboding. That's not helpful. You. Nothing. You. Nothing. You. Being watched. So it's the only one that seems to fit based on the thing, the description, but also not feeling like it's got the same properties. The owl is one that we had for a previous answer, so I'm not entirely sure that this would fit. You're right, though, it does have the horns. So the description is very minimal. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the ears. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. And this is an example of an elaborate horned shackle. So, the description is nothing. The description is effectively useless, other than the idea that maybe the horns would be smooth. That's it. And we don't really have anything hard and somewhat rough. So these aren't even smooth. So that's not the one. Horns. Warm. Horns. Polished. Horns. Pointy. Horns. This part feels smooth. Ah. Interesting. Wood. This part feels smooth. This is rough and pitted. It smells like nothing. It gives nothing. Okay, so this one has the smooth horns. Now, the thing that would throw me off about that is the assumption is that this is a used antiquity and someone else has already rubbed the horns smooth. So wouldn't that then make it less useful for someone who needs to rub it smooth? Pendant in lower left upside down horns. Yeah, I did think about this one. It is bone, yellowed, fabric, metal, pewter, hard and somewhat rough. So if the idea is that she should be the one rubbing it smooth, then starting as hard and rough might be an idea. Or we could go with the idea that it has already been rubbed smooth here, because these are horns. So I think we have several possibilities. I'm gonna go with my first gut and go with the goat gut. Yay! The item has horns. Closer inspection reveals that the horns have been worn smooth. Great. Vesiger. A vesiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Great. So. This one. Icon. We don't. Yes, we do. This one. I keep escaping, thinking escaping is going to get me out of a menu, but no, escaping doesn't get me out of a menu. Sorry, cat. At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Okay. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours, for the right price, of course. Yours, kind regards, John Royston. Alright, if you insist. Notes. Farm. The Greywick farm. Where's the Royston farm? Royston farm is 30... over here. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates after a lengthy negotiation. I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Bird. Bird. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Okay, bud. I have already forgotten the Ossic ring that we read earlier, so let's go ahead and reread that, shall we? Somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Korchin, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across, but they are occasionally sought out for the ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear Korchin's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. Korchin, the serpent goddess. Okay. Cool. We need a snake ring. Do I have a snake ring? Do I have anything that's hissing at me? Plant. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Cool and smooth. Intricate detailing. Iron. Green marble. And it's looking at me. You. about this creepy thing? Nope. Alright, what about you? Nothing. What about you? Ah. A soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. I wouldn't really consider this to be a snake-like thing. What was the description? Actually, there's no description whatsoever. It's a macabre object, so made of bones makes sense. But there's no real description whatsoever about what it looks like or what it's made of. So we have to go on the idea that it's a macabre object that has hissing. So, I mean, with this thing. Snake bones. Hooray! Made of bone, this item satisfies the description of macabre, or macabre, however you want to pronounce. Yep, okay. Holgen Grim. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holger in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfgang's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Okay, those are words. And book is indeed growing in length. Okay. It is a strange book that is gradually getting more pages as we learn things. Sorry, Kitty, didn't mean to startle you. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend, I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? Alright. She wants to booby-trap her jewelry. I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Interesting. So, I like the idea that there's a choice of what to give them. But there's been no information yet about what events are happening outside my shop that I am to be impacting. A binding seed or a Zia. So let's look at what choices we have. Binding seed. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. Okay. And then the Zia. Warn about the neck to place them closer to the heart. These innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. Typically have no symbol or other writings on their surface. So we are either attempting to instill fear and paranoia, or guilt and shame. So I think guilt and shame would be a little bit more reasonable. We want them to feel bad for their actions, but we don't want to necessarily make them feel like they're going to die by looking at us. Do I have one of those things, though, is the question. So this is the spiral. That makes sense. I don't like how this makes me feel. That's fair. Nothing to remark. Carved grooves, cool and smooth. Dark wood, yew, and stone. So I'm going to guess that that is our binding seed. 2 distinct materials depicting the mind and the body. Spiral encompassing the bodies. Okay, yeah. I think that is going to be our binding seed. So I think we should give that to her. Yep. Great. Shield Charm. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but can have some small effect. An Oshadic spirit or wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Alright. Bye, lady. Hope that works for you. Let's give you a label. Don't think we need a symbol. Yes. The shame spiral. Perfect. Love it. I feel like labeling these to match what they should be would make more sense, but it's more fun to give them real names. Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. Wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like you weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a Libula to see us to safety, though. Sparkle's like, why aren't you naming them what they actually are? I'm like, but fun names are more fun. Sparkle has no sense of joy in this world. Alright, let's try that again. Alright. None. Libula. Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturge knows well. Okay. That's not terribly helpful, but I'm assuming we're looking for this symbol. Meow. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. Do I have anything that even closely represents that symbol? No? I don't think so. Meow. Meow. I don't think so. Yeah, let's put this down here so I don't keep thinking it's an object. Okay, so the book description did not feel very helpful to me. Supposed to offer reassurance, not held in high regard. Imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There's power in symbology, and the old thaumaturge knows well. So I guess wisdom is our only real clue. And then we have this symbol referenced. Yes, absolutely, Sparkle. That sounds wonderful. Now this book has various things about wisdom and stuff and symbols. Let me read the thingy again. Wisdom is that symbol. Okay. Nope, escape does not close out of the books. So this is our thingy. This is our Libula. Because I don't think I have anything else with that symbol on it, but that is the symbol of wisdom, which is very misleading if you look at the book, where it shows this symbol prominently featured on the page related to the Libula. So that's very misleading. But the symbol of wisdom in the symbology book that we've got is this symbol in the center here. Cup of noodles, but with mashed potatoes. That sounds wonderful. Alright, so you, sir, you may have your Libula. Witch's Finger. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the witches of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Great. Wisdom. Thinking. Great. Okay, we are closed. End day. Hooray, demo's done. I did it. I didn't actually expect to go through that whole demo. But yeah, it was good. I definitely had some issues with some of their more obscure language and hints, especially since I went into this not knowing what the heck type of game it was and what it was even expected of me. But we figured it out for the most part, with a little help. Well, yeah, Strange Antiquities. It was good. It was good. But it does make me want to play the first game, Strange Horticulture, and see if I can get through that while waiting for this. So we're gonna have to do that. But it is late. It is almost 2 a.m. Which is much later than I would normally go. But we had good times. We had good demos. Some spooks, some not so spooks, some not so great, some decent. We'll see. But yeah, good times. We are running out of time on Next Fest, although I have a feeling that fewer of these demos are going to disappear than normal. So we'll probably have a little bit longer time to play with the demos than usual. But yeah, plenty more demos to do. So maybe Monday night will be another demo night where we'll have some of the miscellaneous ones that I've been holding on to. But we'll see.